All right, we're going to test it out with the antagonist, with the Ankh squad, just to see the animations. I turned the speed down to 1 so we can check out the animations and see how great, the kit looks overall. And maybe I can slap some gear on for PvP in a future video. But let's just see what it looks like. None of these heroes have gear, I believe. Maybe the antagonists do, but I don't expect their damage to go up a lot. As you can see, she's throwing poison out there, which is pretty cool. And that spiderweb animation is sick for that attack. Yeah, that is awesome. And you can see that she is starting to summon these little spiders around the team, which could potentially take the damage for you. So against the Fiona squad, it's going to really help out because she does all those single target hits and obviously could be eating the damage for you. By no means this is the best team for PvP meta. Still having to look into that just so as a heads up, but just wanted to, really check out what the team would look like after a couple rounds, at normal speed. I'm usually playing at the 12x, so everything just flies by. And her animations, like I said, it looks really sick with the spider one. But overall, I also want to see if there's a cap on the spiderlings. It may just cap out at the 4 extra spots, which makes sense that you can only have 1 for each specific spot, right? So let's just end the battle real quick, see what the damage is overall, the damage breakdown. And Suth is popping off. She might have some gear on her, we could check. But overall, as you can see, she's doing significantly more damage than the Night Eater. And these are both Night Eater and her are naked, but they both have Divinity 5. Welcome back to the channel. We're on the Whale account that I haven't played in a while, but we are going to be doing some comparisons with the new hero Spider and comparing her to Fiona and even Night Eater and Empress, just as a damage comparison. We're going to be doing 10 star and 11 star and maybe 12 star. I have to see. We did do all our polls, and let me know in the comments if you want to see those polls. I did record it, but I'll be doing it also on my free to play. And let's just get a baseline. So we have her at 10 star. Let's check out what the damage is, and we're going to compare it to Empress, Night Eater, and a 11 star Fiona. But everyone is no gear, and there no divinity on anyone. We'll test out the divinity as well, just so you get a better feel. And you can see all the spiderlings popping out, which is cool. About 900 million. We're just gonna run them all once, and I'm just clicking everywhere. Let's just hop back in here. We'll run into, let's go with Night Eater now, and here we go. Also at 10 stars, we did grab all the copies to grab her up to 12 stars, so you can find out whether or not if you think Night Eater will be worth it for you as well. Just want to make sure we're covering all our bases. So 467 million, clearly half the damage, but maybe she'll pick up some more damage when she ranks up, because currently my free-to-play I think has a 10 star or 9 star as well. We'll throw in Empress to see what it compares to Night Eater. She's also 10 star. We're not going to be ranking her up though. That would be too wild. So she's at 600 million, so obviously better than Night Eater, and she does AoE damage more significantly than Night Eater. Night Eater does bring a bunch of debuffs, but wanted just to point that out. And for Fiona, let's see how she compares. She is 11 stars, so it's kind of a misrepresentation. But as you can see, 10 billion damage, so that's kind of wild. Maybe that was a super high roll. We'll check back in a few moments. We're going to run her again at 11 stars. Let's rank these heroes up. We have a lot of the food ready, so save us some time. And I want to point out, so reading through it, one of the big highlights for her kit is that unparalleled confusion. All the team members get that 8% speed bonus and absolute bonus, but the speed is king. So sometimes even if you're not using her as the main damage, just slapping in her team, getting that speed could be extremely helpful. She does have a bunch of summon spiderlings, and according to, and like from what my small experience so far, but according to the devs, the 3 Sects are supposed to kind of counter each other. So this sect gets countered by the antagonism, but they counter the poker Fiona squad. So it's going to give us a lot more diversity in PvP, hopefully, and bring back the old sects, especially if you have them ranked up. So it'll give us a little bit more competitive advantage, and especially some of those arena competitions where you can kind of switch out your teams while waiting for the next one. And let's hop over to Night Eater and rank her up as well. And then after we do this, we'll get the divinity on them, I think, at 11 star too, for both the heroes. So let's rank her up. And we'll see how much more damage she does. I've been impressed with her from my free-to-play account. Not my free-to-play, my Light Spender series I've been running. I've been putting all my gear into her and been kind of really happy with it. Does get a pretty significantly bumped, if I remember, from damage. So let's run it with Fiona again, see if we got a super crazy high roll last time. And yep, 12 billion, so right around the same as before. And let's swap it to Spider. So she was just shy of 1 billion before. Let's see how she does this time. And you can see all the spiderlings, which is really cool, hopping out. We can't see the debuffs on this type specific boss, unfortunately. They don't show the stack, but does add a ton of debuffs, which is crazy. And right off the bat, less damage, so probably just like a low roll, but she's not going to be cranking out the damage. We'll run it one more time with her at 11 star. 1.1 billion. So yeah, the damage is definitely not as high, right? That's kind of a big drop in damage compared to Fiona for PvE, but in PvP, damage isn't everything, and that she does, the whole squad will counter the Fiona team because you'll be able to go faster, and those spiders mess up with Fiona's single target. Let's throw in Night Eater and see how she does comparatively now with 11 star versus 10. And damage is roughly the same. We'll run it one more time. There we go, a little bit higher, 700 million. So not quite double. There was, some big range in there. And yeah, nothing too special yet. Let's just double check Fiona to make sure she has no gear like everyone else. And I think it is the case. Yeah, it's just the standard stuff. And she does have some potential though. Is what it is. Not a problem. Let us get the divinity +5 now. And see how she performs. So obviously getting that 10% speed boost off the bat, which is nice. And the big jump is at Divinity 5. And here we go. So obviously getting all these extra stats breakthrough. But the big thing is when entering battle, the Lady 13 gains 10 stacks of web weaving and enhanced effect of the inescapable net. But the 10 stacks of web weaving is pretty significant because you get, 20 stacks? At 10 stacks, chance of summoning small spiders increases to 100%. So that makes it obviously guaranteed, which is much better. And as you're getting more, it starts you off with higher stats and able to get that reduced target speed quicker and reduced target's rage, everything that's counters Fiona, and obviously gives you an advantage in PvP. And let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video reading through all of this stuff. I was debating on throwing in this, but it would just take so long. And let's also try and throw on Divinity with Night Eater, right? Let's see if we can get her to 5 as well. If I have enough resources here. I think we do to get 2 heroes. But I think I can only rock 2 currently. I think I might have some boxes we can maybe unlock too. And with her at the 5, the big one is, so whenever one of our summons die, Monica will randomly cast Magic Energy effect, which can be cast at most once per round. It can be cast even when she is controlled or dead. And Magic Energy, all of our team members gain 50% Dharma body charge. Magic Energy healing, all of our team members recover 50% of their max health. Magic Energy purifying candle purify all of our team members of 3 layers of random negative effects, and or magic energy. Sprint removes 1 random controlled effect from all of our team members. The barrier, the next time any of our team members are attacked, they lose up to 10% of their maximum per attack. So it's like random, but nice little perk there. And we can get Fiona up as well for the divinity. So we can kind of compare apples to apples. Not that. Send. Nope. I can't even play. There we go. We'll unlock her, just so you have a good comparison of what to expect. But as you can see now, this squad is not meant for damage like the poker one. So in PvE damage fests, they're not going to have a... They're going to be weaker overall than the poker squad, in my opinion, so far from initial testing. So let us jump in. So 11-star Div 5 Night Eater, and how will she perform? And the damage doesn't go up a whole lot. Let's run it one more time. We're at 900 billion. It is up from before, but it isn't up a whole lot. We cracked a billion, but for a Divinity 5, all those crowns are hardening. Feels lackluster, right? Damage-wise. That doesn't mean she's not adding a lot of value for your team overall, but damage-wise, you know, kind of slacking. Let's slap in the Spider, see how she's doing. And with the Divinity 5, damage more than doubled, which is what you want to see, right? Obviously, this is with no other equipment. The damage could be much higher. But with the damage going up double, we love to see that. Just goes to show you that, you know, the Divinity is a little bit more valuable damage-wise for her than compared to, say, Night Eater. And of course, if we slap in Fiona and you know, do a quick run, up to 16, 17 billion. So super hard to really fully, you know, test comparison. But what we could also run real quick is let's run Night Eater and Spider together and see what it looks like. It's not a full squad, but together the damage is obviously going to be more. You got that 5.5 billion. And if we look at the breakdown, Spider is beating out Night Eater pretty significantly. But if we throw in, just say, let's Fiona with them too, because the debuff should help out Fiona. Let's see what it looks like then. 62 billion. And you can see the damage Fiona's gaining from all those debuffs is way more significant than the other heroes. Just by putting in her, she is crushing it with the squad. Obviously, I haven't run it for real, but they're going to really boost your damage dealers. Damage. But one last thing we can really test out is whether or not Night Eater at 12 stars is going to have any more benefit. Let's rank her up as well, right to 12, and see if there is any jump in the wrong hero. Here we go. Any extra benefit for her being 12 star? Or could you just, you know, not waste your resources in getting her up? And bam, we got the 12 star, which does bring a little bit of value. I should have maybe read through it. But if we go to the attributes and click down here, it is down at the bottom. I'm pretty sure it is when entering battle, Monica will also add Demon King's Mark to 3 random enemy units. After each normal attack by Monica, she will also randomly add 1 to 2 layers of Soul Lock debuffs to all enemies. So really good in the sense that you're starting off with that Demon King's Mark. Does it say that here? I wonder if it's saying that. And it's going to be hard to actually see the debuff because this boss doesn't actually showcase debuffs. But let's just run it with just Night Eater and see what it looks like. Will her damage be up significantly compared to before? Or will it be lackluster? And the damage actually went down a little bit, but that's just probably a low roll. But as you can see and what others have said to me before, is she's not going to be a super crucial piece to guarantee pickup. I've been really enjoying her for the the Light Spenders challenge early on, but that's because we haven't had access to all the heroes. But as you can see from running Night Eater at 12-star, Divinity 5, obviously no gear, but and no potential. But her damage isn't as, say, even good as Spider. All right, and I hope you enjoyed my quick video. First impression is hero animations are sick. Night Eater, definitely not needed to go to 12-star. I wouldn't waste the diamonds if you're low copy like my free-to-play. I was wondering whether or not I should, but not going to benefit too much. Not really knowing if she's going to be super critical for the Ankh buff. Obviously, it's nice to have this, but it's not really required. And there'll be other heroes in the future, at least 2 more. And I don't think she'll probably end up making the cut. If you're early game watching the Light Spenders guide, definitely could consider doing it early on because 12-star would make her a little bit more survivable, and her 12-star buff when your allies start dying actually does help for PvP, but she's not going to be really impactful long term. And yeah, I'm excited to see her in practice. Let me know in the comments what teams you're running with her in PvP. She is going to be really helpful in the T-Home Temple as your third, a third squad, because right now, even on my free-to-play, main free-to-play, I'm struggling with one of my squads. And from what everyone's saying is that she will really help out. So let me know in the comments what type of video you want to see. I'll try and showcase some PvP, but from my understanding, she might not be in the meta quite yet, but that doesn't mean you should sleep on her. You should try and get as many stars as possible for all these new heroes. Even if you don't need to break the bank, try and get a 9 or 10-star copy. And thanks for all the support. As always, please like and subscribe and have a wonderful day. Take care.